Hi, welcome to the Metaphysical Mamas. We're really glad you found us.
If you're like us, you may have noticed that your beliefs are a little different than your neighbors, your family, or even mainstream media. And so we've created this site for women with metaphysical beliefs to come together to connect with each other.
There can be some misunderstandings or confusion about what metaphysical means, or maybe people think it sounds a little out there or strange.
Purple feathers.
Yeah, floaty, woo-woo. Really, metaphysical breaks down to meta just means more. So it simply means more than physical. It's an acknowledgement that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and that we're interconnected energetically.
Yes, and as women, we can tell we're interconnected energetically. And we naturally congregate in parking lots, and it feels good to be in the presence of another woman. And now research is actually catching up and saying our hormones actually flow in a way that keep us more open and centered, and when we're in the presence of another woman.
Yes, and it's even beyond that. It's not just in the presence of another woman, but it's connecting with other women that are like-minded, even if we're on other sides of the globe and connecting through the internet.
Yes, exactly. And it can even be through print material.
So we also know as mamas that our kids are integrated into every aspect of our lives. So we met nearly 20 years ago in graduate school for spiritual psychology. We had amazing teachers that taught us very valuable practical spirituality tools. But at that point, we were single, we didn't have kids, so we learned these fantastic skills, but we did have the luxury of time to kind of, we could meditate in the morning for an hour, whereas certainly as a mom, that's not a reality.
Exactly.
So we thought that those skills that we learned of very practical spirituality in everyday life would last us our lifetimes, and then we became moms, and everything changed.
Yeah, and although that did lay down the groundwork in a very effective way, we're super grateful that we had those going into motherhood. But we did realize we needed an entirely additional set of skills to those that we just weren't finding. And there was a real, for us, lack of mentors on the metaphysical path of parenting. We just weren't finding it to go, how did she do it? How is it working for her? So with our intention with the site is to open up this conversation. We realized we had each other. And so 10 years into parenting, we were calling each other and a few other friends here and there, but we really didn't have a larger community to tap into. And a lot of us live in suburbia here, and there's mega churches galore. And we really envy that aspect of those mega churches, that there's all those people and that whole community to support child rearing and
like-minded spiritual beliefs coming together.
And getting inspiration, getting support from like-minded people, because a lot of people are willing to give advice, and it just doesn't apply to our particular belief system. And so at the site, we're really wanting to open that conversation globally, to like-minded women.
Yes, and so we created this site. We turned our phone calls and our emails to each other and, some of our other friends in our smaller circle, and we're turning it into this site to really expand that conversation. And we're creating a virtual living room for us all to gather in together. We have our tea, and let's talk. Let's share our successes with each other. Let's share the challenges of raising kids with a spiritual viewing point and holding our center as mothers as we're doing all of this. Let's raise the questions with each other, and let's really inspire each other and help each other lift up into that higher energy that makes everything flow better.
Yeah, for sure. Because historically, women always did that. They worked together, and the men would leave the home, and the women would congregate, and those conversations could happen spontaneously. And now that we're in these individualized housing structures, and our modern day life just isn't that conducive to it. So with technology and the internet, here we are globally have access to all these women. So now we can find like-minded women anywhere from Sweden to Kenya and say, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And cross-culturally, when the spiritual belief is there, it can be so valuable to hear how we address this in this culture and we address this in this culture. That we may, in our particular culture, being Americans, may not even consider, and the same vice versa. In Europe it's different than in Australia. So we love that we can open this globally and really connect with other women worldwide.
Yes, and it's also a forum where we can come together and celebrate the lighthearted parts of spirituality, because again, the more that we raise our energy vibration, the more everything will flow, and that's really how we're designed to work. Being in each other's presence is going to raise our vibration, or connecting via the internet, and then focusing on those lighthearted, fun parts of spirituality, so that it's not just another thing on our to-do list, like get up in the morning, go jogging for 6 miles, then have 1 hour of uninterrupted time while the children don't bother you of perfect meditation.
Yeah, I mean, how many of us have seen men spiritual teachers that say, you gotta get up every morning, uninterrupted, turn off your phone, close the door, just take that time. And any mother knows
we're moms.
There's just no such thing.
No, the kids are playing in the other room, the
know.
toddlers are pulling on the sleeve.
Exactly.
3 a.m., you know what we hear? Mommy!
You know, and even if we get on, you know, we do it 1 day or 2 days, by the 3rd day the baby has a fever, we're up all night, and it constantly sets us up for failure. And as women, we don't work in a linear fashion. This very masculine, this is how you approach spirituality, it's a little silly.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah, and it doesn't work, and it just adds guilt, it adds to-do, it adds shoulds, and it's just a little bit of a burden and a weight.
Absolutely.
You know? And law of attraction now is so popular, right?
Yes,
Secret came out, law of attraction is everywhere. And one of the things that we don't see addressed hardly at all with, you know, the current law of attraction stuff is humor. Yes, we totally believe that everything is law of attraction, and the more we can raise our vibration, the more everything we want can come to us. But the fastest way to do that is humor, you know, to have a good chuckle,
good laugh.
you know. And so, yeah, so one of the things we've done here that we're offering on the site as a gift to everyone who's stopping by is outrageous manifestation techniques.
And they're really fun.
Yeah, because sometimes we just, you know, we do want to manifest things in a very practical way. Like, okay, I want to use spirituality and my energy and my point of attraction.
Yeah. And we've learned a lot of practical tools like that from all these authors that we love. I mean, you'll see them around our site. We're promoting their products. We love going to their workshops if we can get away for the weekend, or you know, seeing them online, reading their books, whatever. So we love these authors, and yet we're trying to take that another piece and integrate them into practical spirituality in the home. So you know, in suburbia, in your high rise, out on your farm, wherever you are, bring that practical spirituality here and lighten up in the process.
Yes, and again, just how does that teaching relate to me in my house all day with my kids? Because it is different.
Or at your job all day, while you're thinking about the kids, wherever you are as a mom.
Exactly. You know, because when you're coming home in the car and you've just picked your kids up from daycare, and, you know, that transition time is pretty rough, I think, as most parents find at some point. It isn't the easiest hour, you know, picking up to dinner. You know, how is this, I'm supposed to meditate, relate to me right now? And, you know, so we're really bringing it down to the practical level, incorporating those into motherhood. So, you know, we created these outrageous manifestation techniques, just the things that are really funny. A lot of them make us completely laugh and crack up, and again, deliberately to raise our vibration. And
we've been on this path for 20 years, and these are our favorite things. They've all worked. Like, the house I'm sitting in right now is something that I manifested through one of those techniques.
I know, nicely done.
Thank you.
And, you know, whether that be more money or even, you know, something frivolous like a nice bikini body before summer hits. It can be
anything.
As big, as little as it, you know, as each individual wants it to be. And so, and the things you can do with the kids. We find so
very
often
important
in a lot of the spiritual teachings, kids are just
ignored.
Never mentioned.
No, kind of like we just live in a vacuum and here's what you can do. But as women, that circle of our life contains our children.
Exactly.
So these are, majority of them are things you do with your children, or that the kids really can have fun with. You can read some fun stories about how the kids have been involved there.
Yeah, so just fill in your email in the little box on your right there, and we'll get that right out to you.
Yes.
Instant manifestation.
Yes. And also, once you do that, come back to us. Come back to the site and share your experiences. Because again, this site is our collective living room. It's our collective coffee table. So let's sit around and have a chat. And the person who's, you know, if somebody sits back and they're on the couch and they're quiet and they're not sharing, we are losing their wisdom. We're losing their energy, their experience. You know, whether you're new to the path or whether this is something you've been doing for decades, it so enriches everybody to have that experience shared. Maybe somebody else will say, oh, I had that same question, or maybe somebody's post on a blog will be the exact answer that I needed to hear that day, or whatever that looks like. The more that we share as sisters in this whole path, the more that will really just enliven everyone and lift everybody up.
Yeah, and again, you know, Heather and I aren't looking to be the experts here, and we've been talking to each other for 20 years. We're really having to expand that community. That really is our goal with the site. So please come and share yourselves. Let's
Yes.
build this community. Let's all bring ourselves to it 100%. And even, if you have a challenge, even if you're not coming to just say, oh, this worked and this worked. And, we're not just about, yay, we feel great. It's real, it's motherhood, it's ups, it's downs, it's, yes, we continue on a daily basis, set intentions to keep our vibration as high as possible.
And some days that's just not how it works.
And some days, it's a lot more work to get up.
Yes,
to that
absolutely.
place.
So again, come, enter your name, enter your email. We'll get the outrageous manifestation ideas out to you. That gets you in to be, part of our community, really. Read through the blogs, add your ideas in there, bring in your energy. We just love that.
Yeah, and we look forward to hearing from each one of you. Thanks for stopping by.